Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about the topic that is currencies. Currencies dependency. In this basically ideas are equal to global warming. Global warming. In this global warming solution, in solution basically we are discussing about the 12th number solution, that is cities. In this basically we are discussing about the Earth planet. We are basically simultaneously discussing this whole thing basically. In this basically we are discussing about 11 parts basically has been done basically. Earth planet is divided into 11 parts. That also you can say in simple language basically. So like this, one of the person told that basically Asia group basically has been divided, and basically that has separately basically taken from the Earth planet only basically. Just to check basically how basically things are, because satellite groups basically are connected with the each and every land basically which is separated basically. Here basically we have taken the example of Earth planet, that is basically separated with 11 parts basically. So 8 parts has been divided, and sorry, it's 11 parts basically. You can say that it's 1100 basically, that also basically. So like this basically things are basically there. So Asian country basically, Asia land basically has been separated separately basically. That is also basically there. So what are the things going to happen? Like yes, earthquake is going to happen, tsunami is going to happen. Satellites basically are connected with the land basically. So speed will be in limit basically. Like this, each and every planets basically are connected. So one person told that basically, if you want to break the chain of any of the country basically, then this is the way basically, like this they do this, like this he told that basically yes, this is the only way basically, like this satellite group basically breaks the chain this way only basically, and this is the only way basically to break the chain basically. So this is the most dangerous way basically for the earth planet people basically. But for the satellite basically universe group basically, that's basically a normal stuff basically for them basically. This type of stuff basically is normal stuff. Reason, they create the earth like planet basically they create. So this all stuff basically to separate the planet, separate the land basically, this all are basically normal stuff na basically for them basically. But for earth planet people it's the most dangerous stuff basically, and they basically never able to do that also basically from earth planet basically, that is impossible basically. Satellite, sorry, the nuclear power company groups we will say that sorry yeah, we can't basically we can create the human needs, that is petrol is there, oil is there basically, that much only basically we can do basically, and we can send the energy of the each and every human needs and the human bodies basically to satellite basically, or basically to the sky or to the universe. The rest of part basically we can't, because we don't have the authority na. We can't send basically the rocket also to the universe without the permission basically. We have to set each and every conditions, then only basically, for example 18 conditions basically are added. So each and every 80 conditions basically are checked by the satellite groups, then only basically the rocket moves to the 18 layers basically. We have taken the example of this basically long before. So like this basically we don't have the permission also basically to move the rocket also basically. So you can just imagine basically how we can break the planet, break the earth planet into the 11 parts basically. So that is not possible basically. So that is basically practically that is not possible. Now in this basically next basically, that is earthquakes are equal to incidence. So one of the person told that basically earthquakes basically where it comes basically, it only comes in the cities basically, and cities created by 22 blood groups, that everybody knows. Everybody knows that basically 22 blood groups has created the. So most of people basically live their life, have their life basically peacefully only basically, most of people basically. But sometime basically control gets lost. For example, this 200 basically, 200 people will literally basically will lose the control basically. Why? Because they have suffered up to the level basically. So few people says that it's a union. I had taken one example of the World Bank basically. He told that it's a union basically of the one group basically. That union basically I am trying to find out basically, but it's a digital, and digital world basically nobody is going to give the correct data also basically. So I'm trying to find out from the physical way basically, which are those union group basically. So like this basically things are basically there. So in this basically earthquakes equal to incidence basically. So earthquake basically comes, that we have already taken. In this basically we are telling that basically 1300 people basically, 1300 cities basically are going got the earthquakes basically. 1300 cities of the India basically got the earthquakes. In this basically I am just taking the example of India basically because I am currently India, that's why. So like this basically 1300 cities basically gets the earthquakes, got the earthquake due to some reason basically. That reason basically are the 22 blood group story basically. What story actually generated, and due to which story basically it converted into earthquake. That is basically one story basically that we will discuss basically. So here basically how we, on which story basically the earthquakes are connected. That is basically most of thing basically we have discussed actually related to story point basically. That is, if this story generates then tsunami comes, if this story generates say of the blood group then the earthquakes come, if this story generates then the lava blast happens. Like this basically lots of stories basically are there, that is written actually by the nuclear power company. Like this basically the incidents are there basically. In incidents basically what are the incidents basically which happens, that also basically we have almost discussed basically. That if this earthquakes comes then basically in this place basically these are supposed to be happen. For example, earthquake line is like that. In this line basically this cities basically are clear, the 1300 cities basically are there, but entire cities basically are not getting problem. Particular areas basically are connected. So that area basically, if the earthquake has sorry the blood group basically has been infected very badly, then basically lots of bad things happens to that area. That everything basically we have discussed basically. And one of the person told that basically this 93 bomb blast also basically was long before the information basically might be given to the energy department. Sorry, the decoding basically has happened. Sorry, the earthquake energy basically decoding might have happened long before, and somebody might have planned this basically, this 93 bomb blast basically. That basically who has done basically, that the Indian government basically might be knowing that who actually has done the plan basically. So few people says that basically that can be repair also basically, but few people says that basically that can't be repair, and that is supposed to be like that only basically. So like this basically many things are basically there that we basically can't we have almost think basically we had discussed basically about the incident. How many incidents basically one of the people told that basically. In this basically the Gaza and Israel basically war is ongoing. That is also one incident basically. That also connected with one earthquake magnitude basically. If the entire Gaza has finished, that means some big earthquake has happened basically some in some country basically. Due to that basically this was affected basically. This was connected basically. And earthquakes basically are directly connected with the blood groups. So some blood group basically was connected. Due to that blood group basically this Gaza city, no sorry, Gaza country basically was destroyed basically by the Israeli basically. That type of thing basically few people says basically, but really what is that basically, that we also don't know basically. So real scene, real picture basically we can't know basically, because until we can't see the thing basically we can't say that basically this has really happened or not basically. So like this basically things are there basically. So like this basically we are discussing about the incidents also basically most of incidents basically we have discussed, and we are told that basically if this earthquake comes then this has to happen, this earthquake comes then that is to happen, this earthquake comes up to this magnitude earthquake comes then that is to happen, this magnitude earthquakes happen then this incident basically has to happen. In next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the earthquakes and their incidents created by the groups.